you guys are here for the Healthy Habits of Connection workshop, you are in the right place. If you were looking for something else, you are welcome to stay. Everyone is welcome here. Why you are here? Well, at least let me say why I'm here, and hopefully there's something that resonates with you. The U.S. Surgeon General put out a report around the loneliness epidemic, and that really sparked some inspiration between myself and Giannis and the Covve team, and wanted to do something about it. And I really pivoted my career to from marketing to being more focused on connection, bringing people together, networking, community, building community. And so this is that for me right now. This is my first experiment and foray into bringing people together and connection and doing that professionally. So I'm grateful for you to be here. I hope you all similarly care about connection, building friendships, meaning at work, and relationships at work. But we have three brilliant folks here today, people who have personally become friends of mine through this process, and I'm so excited to be connected with them. First up is Jessie Jacob will be first today from Culture Amp, and she leads the global Culture First community. And if you're not a part of that, you would love it. I love it. I've met so many cool people and people who have really inspired me to change my life through there, including my girlfriend. And Kevin Monroe is here. He has the founder of the Grateful app, or the Gratitude app. Sorry, Kevin, for butchering that. And then we have, and honestly, Kevin, when we first met, he was teaching me a habit that we're going to learn today as well. And is one of the habits I've picked up and has been extremely rewarding for me. And then last but not least, Vaneeta Sandhu, and Dr. Vaneeta Sandhu from Covve, and has the job title that I think is like my dream job now if I was a 10-year-old kid and doing life all over again, head of emotional fitness. I'll let each of them tell a little bit more about themselves soon. How this will work. Today we have this learning model we follow. It's an I do, we do, you do model. And the format is someone's going to teach what is their habit, what do they do, and then we're going to set an example. So one of the other panelists will do it live in front of everyone, and then we're going to go into a breakout room with a group of 3 people, and you will be able to do it together and share with each other about how you did it, and then we'll come back and share how did that go, how do you feel, what did you learn, type of thing. That's pretty much it. This is, like I said, a workshop format. These panelists are not here talking all day in front of you. You're going to actually be learning mostly from each other in breakout rooms. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about the new relationships you gain from this today. Next up, I want to introduce Giannis, the founder and CEO of Covve, who's making this possible for us today. So Giannis, please, or give him a warm welcome, and please introduce yourself and why you're here, Giannis.
Thank you, Hansen. Hi, everyone. I'm Giannis. Wow, Kevin, that's a new animation. I'm Giannis. I'm really, really happy to be with everyone here. I really loved working with Hansen in bringing all of this, all of you guys together, because everyone, I love connecting with people that have the same passion about building real relationships. And actually, this is the reason that Alex and myself created Covve. Our team's passion is to help people connect and build real relationships. We do it through tools and through education. Just to give an example, we have a relationship co-pilot. It's like an app that helps you build a habit of staying in touch with people. Like an exercise app would help you build a habit of exercising, and we know that's really hard. Again, unfortunately, it's become really hard to find time in the day to connect with people. Covve, our app, helps you do that. But we also love doing it through sharing knowledge and education. We collaborate with thought leaders all over the world to share tips and best practices, like with Kevin and Vaneeta and Jessie that we have today, and Hansen, to share best practices and knowledge on how we can build real relationships. Now, personally, I really enjoy connecting with people, and it's proven to be I appreciate how valuable it's been for my life, both my personal life and my professional life. So I'm really alarmed by the fact that this is not common practice, and to the extent that we're talking about a loneliness epidemic. So I'm really, really happy that we're here, and I'm very appreciative that we have experts like Jessie and Vaneeta and Kevin with us today to actually help us do it better. So thank you everyone.
So you've heard from me and kind of why I'm here. You've heard from Giannis and why he's here. We kind of want to judge or get a sample of everyone else in the room. So let's launch the first poll, Hennesis, if you're up for that and ready, and find out kind of how aligned are you around this mission and of healing from the loneliness epidemic, and 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 it's okay if you're not, if that's not completely your thing. But there's some people in the room who are like, this is their work, this is their profession, they're a consultant, and so I will go ahead and launch that poll here. What is the results? Can you read it out for me?
35% are absolutely, this is my mission. 43%, yes, I care about this work. 18%, maybe, I'm not sure yet. 5%, not for me, but I'm here to learn.
Awesome. Well, you're all welcome here, no matter where you align on this, but thank you for participating. And it just next up, I really want to welcome, and I'm super excited for our first activity of the day. Please give a warm welcome to Jessie Jacob from Culture Amp. And Jessie, maybe you can start us off with your little bit of background, who you are, what you do, and then I would love for you to answer, why is this topic specifically today important to you?
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much for bringing me to this wonderful group of people who are very much aligned with a passion and purpose for myself. So my name is Jessie Jacob. I work for an organization called Culture Amp. It's an employee experience platform. We have created software to help employers better listen to employee feedback. We have an employee engagement survey, performance management tool, and career development tool. But we're on a mission to create a better world of work. We know that we're not going to do that with just software and technology alone. So we've created what is called the Culture First community, which is a people around the world united in this shared belief that a better world of work is possible and they want to do something about it. We have a Slack community with over 20,000 people in it, and we have a global chapters program with over 10,000 community members. We have 100 global chapters, and we host topics around the future of work. How do we make work better? So Gary Ware, who's here, shout out to you for making you helped kind of sherpa all of this relationship between Hanson and Sarah. So grateful to be here with you all. This topic's super important to me because how many times have we gone to work and felt like we don't feel a sense of belonging? And this is a really important thing for me to help be able to create these connections with one another. And I'm a firm believer that professionalism is killing us all. So, but yeah, that's a quick bio on myself.
Thank you. And now why don't you take us away into the your activity for the day?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to introduce, so when Hanson said, hey, it's show it, like we want to have you bring a tool to this community to help create connection. And the first thing that came to mind was an activity called If You Really Knew Me, You Would Know That. So this has become a culture first staple for us. Amazing tool for you all to put into your toolbox to use with teams you're working with, or I actually use this with friends now, and I'll share some more examples of that. But so, one of our principles in the Culture First community is having the courage to be vulnerable and also fostering belonging and acceptance. So, this is a way that we show up and embody that principle with one another by answering this prompt. If you really knew me, you would know that. So what's going to happen? I'm going to set a timer for myself and uh, show you how this works, and then we're all going to go into breakout rooms and do this together. You'll have a chance to hear from the other speakers here answering this prompt to get an idea of what this looks like. Um, I'm going to set my timer right now. For those of you who don't know, Zoom also, if you're hosting future gatherings, Zoom has a app built in. So if you're on the panel down below under apps, you can add the timer app and it'll start this sweet little timer for you. Fun little pro tip for you. All right, here we go. Here's me embodying If You Really Knew Me, You Would Know That. So starting now. If you really knew me, you would know that I am born and raised in Kansas City. I live on the Missouri side. If you really knew me, you'd know that I have a dog, got a COVID puppy. If you really knew me, you would know that I played college sports. So I'm still consider myself an athlete. I played soccer and then won a Big 12 championship playing, was on the rowing team at University of Kansas. If you really knew me, you would know that I lost a parent. I lost my dad when I was 17 years old. And family is really important to me, and staying connected with them is really something I'm passionate about. If you really knew me, you would know that, yes, I live in Kansas City, but like I wish I lived in California. And the reason I live in Kansas City still is my mother is suffering from stage 4 bone cancer. And so I'm a part-time caretaker for her. And I just want to savor all the time I have with her. And if you really knew me, you would know that I just love this work so much, and I'm going to keep doing creating connection and working in this workplace culture industry. It's super important to me. All right, there you go. There is me embodying and showing you this exercise. I'm going to popcorn it over to Evan, if you would be willing to. Oh
Let's
yeah,
spotlight Kevin here.
yeah. Kevin, if you'd be willing, I'm happy to set a timer for you, or if you want to do it, however. But I'll put the prompt
Let's
in the
see.
chat.
Okay, I've got it. I've got the timer set. If you thank you, Jessie. If you really knew me, you would know I love this kind of impromptu stuff. If you really knew me, you would know that I am. I've had a lot of fun titles through the years. The titles that mean the most to me now are husband, father, papa. We have 2 grandchildren. Friend is actually my favorite title. I have a lot of friends here in the room. Yeah, I can see if this will actually work on. Yeah, see. That's if you really knew me, you'd know I'm a Mac geek, and this is a new feature of the latest Mac upgrade software. If you really knew me, you'd know I've had celiac disease for 23 years now, because we would go out to eat if we were really in person, right? And sometimes this would come up in a restaurant because I always have to ask for the gluten-free menu. And if you really knew me, you would know that gratitude is what jazzes me, growing gratitude globally and generationally.
So good. Can we all like give a round of applause to Kevin? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was awesome. Oh, so good. All right. We're
So
gonna go into breakout rooms. You're gonna have groups of 2 or 3. Everyone set a timer for yourself to share for 1 minute. The idea is to talk for the entire minute. So, don't cut yourself short. Push yourself to go that full 60 seconds, and also playing with that edge of vulnerability. So like maybe don't, where's your stretch zone? Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. And as Hanson mentioned, anything shared in the breakout rooms is confidential. But just like exploring, where is that edge of vulnerability? What do you feel comfortable sharing with these folks? You can set a timer with the app on Zoom, or feel free to just set a timer on your phone if that works better. And how about the person with the shortest hair goes first when you get to your breakout rooms?
no, that's me. Well, okay. One thing I forgot to mention: you are going to be in the same breakout rooms with the same 3 people going throughout, so you're going to get to know each other a little better. So when you jump back in, maybe honor that person, let them go first, even if they don't have the shortest hair next time. So give them the mic first. Um, Jessie, do you want to kind of wrap us up on this one?
Yeah, please. Well, first of all, can we like give ourselves like a collective like celebration here? Thank you. Many of you just like went into a breakout room and shared, some of your like life story with them. So kudos for leaning into having the courage to be vulnerable. I appreciate you all. Want to hear like anyone's experience of that. How was that for you? Was that easy? Was it uncomfortable? Just general takeaways. And also, do you feel like maybe you could have gone for longer, or it was hard to get to a full minute? Do you feel like you could share this with someone else? Would love to hear just a few folks. Yeah, easy,
Who
but
wants
1 minute is too short. Yeah, okay. Love that,
to
Mark.
raise
Thank you.
their hand?
Yes, Sarah.
I'll share. I didn't have a chance to share, but listening was such a gift, and I can't believe how much I learned about 2 people in just 1 minute each. It's kind of shocking to know, and I want to know more, of course. I want to get to know them better. So it was really a beautiful exercise, and I thank you.
I love that. Thanks, Sarah, for sharing. So good. Is it Laura?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Lara. Um, I loved it. I think, it's always hard to like, these are all things that I don't even realize are interesting about myself, but they're unique and they're things that other people find interesting. And I think I love that I was given permission to share those parts of myself, but also to choose what I share about myself, because I think that's really important when you're asking people to be vulnerable, is to give them that choice of like how much they want to share and what they share.
Yes. Oh, thanks for sharing that. Such good perspective. Yeah, it's like also if you go second or third, you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to share some other things that kind of came up based on what someone else said that maybe you wouldn't have even brought up if you would have gone first, you know? Just that vulnerability dance or vulnerability loop that we do, right? It's like someone invites themselves to kind of take off one of their masks, then you're like, wait, okay, maybe I will. And it creates that really cool psychological safety with one another.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else you want to?
Let's have folks share in the chat. Keep sharing with each other.
Yeah.
And everyone give a round of applause for Jessie. Thank you so much for being here and leading us through that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna share one other thing,
yeah,
Hanson. I know we're like moving through, but
yeah,
this is just an amazing thing to like add to your toolbox that you can use in so many different contexts. Like I said, this has become a culture first staple. We do this at many of our chapter gatherings, whether it's in person or virtually. I know a lot of teams are doing this as like a check-in. Like, if we really knew you today, what would we know? Even if you already have like historical context with someone, you can go multiple rounds, which is always leads to like a fascinating discussion. I think I've like had lunch with a friend and we went back and forth like 6 times with this prompt. And that was like really cool to see where like our vulnerability dancing went. And then one of our chapter leads recently, her grandmother passed, and she ended up using this prompt for her grandmother's eulogy. I was like, what an incredible prompt to share with like their friends and family members to like have them actually understand who her grandma was. So just an amazing resource for you all to add, helps elevate our small talk to at least medium talk or real talk if we're willing to go there. So thank you.
thank you. And that's like if you really knew grandma, you would know that, right? It's like about someone
Exactly.
else, right? Not
Yep.
just about yourself. I love that. Next up is Kevin Monroe. Welcome, Kevin. Let's give you a spotlight here. Um, Kevin has been highly engaged in this community and was on the first workshop, and his energy is infectious. And so I couldn't resist inviting him here and share that energy with you all today. So Kevin, please introduce yourself again here, and why is this particular topic today important to you?
Well, thanks, Hanson. Thanks, Giannis. Thanks, the Cove team. And thanks, Jessie and Vaneeta, for being such great new friends and co-panelists here. So wow, I guess I learned from my father when I was just a kid, the importance of connecting with people. My father taught me something, when I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old, that was opposite of what other kids' fathers were teaching them. My father told me to talk to strangers. He'd take me to places with him, right? He knew the strangers. They weren't strangers in the broadest sense. I just didn't know them yet. And he would take me to these environments and put me in there to get to know people. And just that the gift of connection, the gift of authentic connection, are things I really learned from my father. And I don't know, I just always love connecting with people. And I love, years ago, I heard this phrase or this saying at a town hall from Barbara Sable of the Kellogg Foundation: relationships are primary, all else is derivative. And everything good that's happened in my life, my family, my business comes through a relationship. You meet somebody, you don't meet them. I no longer stalk people on LinkedIn. I was taught to do that some years ago. I don't look up people's backgrounds saying, oh, Vaneeta could introduce me to so and so and so, and I want to get to. Nah, I just meet people because I love people. So I'm excited to be here today, Hanson. And this activity kind of bridges the my two worlds, the connection and then with gratitude. So is there something you want to say before we jump into that,
No, I'm
Hanson?
just stoked to have you here, and I'm excited for this audience to experience this habit of yours, which is so powerful that you've shared it with us. And so I'm excited to do it again, but also have others do it here today. So
Okay,
take it away.
so the other thing I want to say is this The study that prompted all of this, the Surgeon General's advisory about loneliness, I'd already read that. I read it the day it came out. And when I saw Covve doing something to address it, I was on board. And so I love that Gary was a presenter in the first session. He's here as a participant in this. I was as a participant in the first session, and I'll be back to the others because I want to see this addressed too. So one of the things, okay, so my works, and I have learned the power, and I know Vaneeta knows this because we kind of shared some in some text about this, that you do this. LinkedIn has a feature. Now, you don't have to be on LinkedIn. You can do this other ways, but LinkedIn has a really cool feature that allows you and me to send a voice message to somebody. And that voice message cannot be over 1 minute long on LinkedIn. That's kind of the power of LinkedIn, is that it forces you, just like in the exercise Jessie let us in, we had a minute to, if you really knew me. Well, here's a minute that you can take to share with someone that you're thankful for them, you appreciate them, or you're grateful for them. I call it a tag message: thanks, appreciation, or gratitude. And it hits a trifecta, right? It's a connection. And then when you do it this way, it forms a bond of authenticity, because there's something about gratitude that when we share gratitude with others, it builds authentic connection, and it creates a really deep heart connection. I didn't know this 4 years ago. I learned this 4 years ago through doing it. Gratitude connects people quickly and deeply. There's just something that happens in our physiology, our biology. So when you go, and you can do this on WhatsApp, you can do it on any other message. Yeah, and Mark Pfister is here, and we met last week, and he shared about this lollipop moment. So it's kind of that kind of thing. But if you go to LinkedIn and you hit the message button, and then you hit the little scribe icon in the top, and then you pick someone, and you have to be a first degree connection to send this in LinkedIn. You can't do this to strangers. And so you pick someone, and then you just drop them a message. And I'm going to pick someone that happens to be in the room today. I did not know this person a week ago today. But when we were I saw some kind of post on Friday about this meeting coming up. I reached out to a couple of people that were also in that post, and one of those really responded, and we went into deep conversation. So when you get to LinkedIn and you get this, it's hard to see on here, but you get to write a message, you just push the microphone icon to the side. It brings up a blue microphone button. You push that, and I go, "Hey, Fivos, man, what a joy to be in this session with you today." And I'm really glad that this session that Covve is sponsoring allowed us to connect. And thanks for accepting my invitation to connect last week, and for reaching out to want to know why gratitude matters to me and why it's important, and how that led us to such a deep, rich text conversation about the power of story and the power of authentic connection. So it's great to have you here with us today. I hope you enjoy this message. Then you finish hitting record and you hit send. And now all of a sudden, Fivos, who's here with us in the room, just got a message on his LinkedIn. And that message that I just recorded for you is now in his phone. So here's what we want to invite everyone here to do today. We want to allow you to send one of these gratitude messages to someone. So we want you to think, who is someone? And you can do this so many ways. I love doing this like on a weekly basis. Vaneeta, you shared, like, I think when you go out for a walk, you try to send one of these. Is that what you said?
That's exactly it. On WhatsApp, I'm like, who have I not talked to for a while? And I send a quick message.
Yeah, so for me, there'll be mornings I'm out on my morning walk, and I'll think, "Hey, I'm gonna take 5 minutes, and I'm going to send one of these messages to 5 people." Who comes to mind? My friend Chris Michelle that's here today, we talk about the nudge, and a lot of times you just feel a nudge, and somebody's on your heart, and you think, "Well, gosh," and for me, I'm a little slow. Usually, it's like the 3rd time I think of Chris, I'm like, "Well, maybe I should send Chris a message," and I'll just drop Chris a message, or whoever that is. But if you do this once a week, you think back and go, hey, who's been a bright spot in my life this week? Or who did something that lightened my load this week, made my life better? And you just pick up and you send them a WhatsApp, you send them a LinkedIn, you send them a Facebook message, whatever it is. A little hint, if you're using LinkedIn, make sure you use their name so they know that this message is just for them and that you just didn't find some really cool AI tool and just dropped 10,000 people this message that feels personal. No, make it personal. Put something in there that is just between the two of you that only they would know. And the response I usually get is, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many people still don't know this works. I didn't know you could do that, is one response I get. And then the other is the most frequent response I get. Vaneeta, do you get this? You made my day.
That's it. That's it. It was
You
so lovely to
made
hear your voice. Oh, it
Yeah.
was that is it. Yes.
And so that's what's really powerful when you use your voice. They hear your voice. And I have people tell me they save the message and they play it over and again. Why? Because you thought of me. You cared enough to connect with me in the moment. Vaneeta, something else?
Well, I was going to say sometimes I like to start the messages with a joke of the week,
Okay.
just to start off in a playful way. And so I'm gonna try to do that today with this activity.
Okay. So what
All
we're
right.
in, are you gonna do that now? You're gonna send
Yeah,
them now?
I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna do exactly what you just did here, Kevin. So I'm gonna choose somebody that's in our room here today. His name has been dropped a few times in the chat, I have noticed, and he's brought a special guest. So I'm gonna leave a message here for our friend Gary Ware for 1 minute. And I'm gonna start with the jokes, and everyone's gonna hear my cheesy sense of humor as well. So here we go. Hey Gary, it's Vaneeta here. Just want to start you off with my favorite joke today, which is, what did one strawberry say to the other strawberry? Maybe if you didn't get so fresh yesterday, we wouldn't be in this jam today. All right, that's where we start. Now, Gary, I just want you to know that I am in a lovely event today because of you and because of your power of connection and play. We've been in each other's stratospheres for years, actually, and finally got to meet, I know, in July. And ever since then, I've been so grateful to have you around. And I'm still feeling the power of that one connection point we had in July. I've also you have been a weekly reminder for me to integrate play into my work. And in fact, your value of play is what I have been using to think about what I want to teach everyone for this event that I'm in today. So just want to say thank you so much for being a
Boom.
connection in my life.
Boom. Okay, so now we're inviting you to do that. We're going to put you back into your group. There it is. There's the message. We're going to put you back into the groups you were in. We're going to ask you to think of that person that you would like to send a message to, and then what you're going to say, and then you're going on mute for a moment. And all of you are going to send a message to someone if you're game, right? So you take 30 seconds to think about who that is, go on mute, send the message, and then take a moment to just share what happened when you sent that message. Let's go to groups, Genesis. And you know what? We're going to create some gratitude ripples that will literally circle the globe in the next 5 minutes. And here comes everybody.
Guess who's
Hey,
back again.
welcome back, everyone. Genesis is going to put a link into the chat. You can also do this on the phone or tablet. You can grab this QR code. I guess I should have said this, Jessie. If you really knew me and if you've been in meetings with me, you know what a big fan I am of Mentimeter because it allows people to, everybody to participate. So you can go to menti.com and enter the code 63513450. You can grab the QR code, and we are going to put on the screen, how did it feel? We're short on time to get a lot of people to share, but look at here, we can see it live. And if you know how word clouds work, the bigger the word, the more frequent the response. It was more frequently it was given as a response, fulfilling What about that? It was fulfilling to send someone a message. I love that. I don't know if I've ever seen that word before. Heartwarming. Of course it was. Magnificent. Oh, fun and scary. What was scary about it? Unmute and tell us what was scary real quick for you, if you will, if you're not too scared to say what was scary about sending this message. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we'll invite you. I love that it was grounding.
So is because fulfilling's the biggest, does that mean it's been mentioned multiple times?
Yes, yes. Fulfilling was the most frequently given response, followed by fun, loving, exciting, joyful, warm. And then the others, usually just one or two. Oh, giddy. Who felt giddy? Just raise your hand. Who felt giddy doing this? Who felt giddy? No one? All right. Well, we got to move. We'll share this word cloud with you later today. We're going to do a couple of others before this ends. But Hanson, thank you for allowing me to be a part of the party today.
Yeah,
Let's
you
move
guys
on
can
to
go off
Vaneeta.
mute and give Kevin a round of applause and give yourselves a round of applause as well. That was awesome. I love this exercise. And next up, super excited to introduce again the head of emotional fitness from Covve, Vaneeta Sandhu. Vaneeta, join us and share your background and kind of why you're here a little bit, and then what is this topic specifically? Like, why is this topic important to you?
Yeah, hello, y'all. The exercise I like to call this an emotional push-up because it's such a quick little endorphin hit exercise that we're all doing here today. And we'll do one last one. I am Dr. Vaneeta Sandhu. I'm a licensed psychologist, and I'm also, as Hanson mentioned, the head of emotional fitness at Covve. We are your team's online gym for mental health. So we work with many companies in what I like to call building their proactive mental health skills. So we offer live therapist-led classes and on-demand learning to improve things like resilience, effectiveness in leadership, stress. Who couldn't identify with that one? And the idea here is what I have seen personally in working as a psychologist for over 10 years is the number one thing that has helped folks to reduce stress is when they're connecting with others. When there's even just one person in their life that makes them feel worthy of value, it motivates them in all realms of their work, not just motivates them in their relationship. All of a sudden, they've got more pep in their step at work. All of a sudden, they've got more pep in their step when they're showing up as a parent in all of their different roles. So truly the power of connection and how I've seen it work in thousands of people is what keeps me motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. And so today we've been talking a lot about how do we connect, it could be with folks that we've already known before, maybe a new connection and what to do. One of the challenges I've seen that many of us run into is, yeah, great. I have all the connections, but I haven't actually talked to this person in a long time. Or I know they're out there and I see their phone on my contacts list when I'm scrolling through, but I'd really love to just reconnect. And then we start this overthinking spiral. Wait, is it awkward now? It's been 6 months. Would it be so weird if I just all of a sudden hit them up? Would they think I'm asking for something? So the idea here is how do we also flex our muscles when it comes to reconnecting with folks? Interestingly, that power connection, we see similar mental health benefits when it's reconnecting with someone. And I'm talking could be reconnecting after days, weeks, months, or years. There really is no limitation to this one at all. And so how do we proactively practice this skill? I'm going to dive us right into it by naming the biggest challenge here, which is for a lot of us, we actually never had this modeled for us of how to reconnect with someone. If you think back to somebody who maybe taught you how to do this, I have to be honest, I can't think of a single person who taught me how to do this as I was growing up as a kid. We really had to somehow ask the questions and piecemeal it together. What does that mean? It often means then that we don't prioritize the connection piece. We've seen today, it takes 1 minute and all of a sudden we've connected, but all the other things that I'm so busy with all of a sudden take priority. So there's one thing I'm hoping you're taking away from today is I've got a minute. I can prioritize this connection time. And so here's what we're going to do today. We are going to start a monthly ritual of reconnection. That's just our goal for today. So what I'm going to ask you to do in this exercise is, folks, I know some folks already had their phone out. The goal of today is you're going to connect with somebody that you haven't connected with in at least 30 days. Now, it could be someone who you've been slow to get to know and you'd like a better connection with them. Or maybe it's someone that you've known for years, but just haven't connected with for a while. So you're going to reach out to this person, but there's a twist. We're going to do it in a playful way using emojis, my friends. I know. It's not just going to be the, hey, was thinking of you. How are you? That's not a fun way to reconnect. Let's do an even more fun way. So there are a couple of messages, template messages that we have found in our work at Covve be incredibly impactful whenever folks are doing this exercise. Because often it's like, great, I get it, Vaneeta, play. That's not always the most comfortable space for me. What does this look like? What does this sound like? So here we go. We're going to have 2 template messages show up in the chat. These are 2 examples of what I have seen folks send in the last month as a playful way to reconnect with someone. And what you do is you send a message like, hey, it's been a long time. Would love to catch up on how things have been at work. This is a work example. Will you play a game with me? I'm going to send you a message using only emojis. You guess what it is. Ready? And then there's a series of 5. So you see this calendar, this monkey, this, and you give them a moment to guess what it could be. It usually starts with laughter and a really playful way to now reconnect with someone. And then you let them know, here's what the translation was of what those emojis were. So again, you could do this in the workspace. You could do this in the personal space. Lots of different ways that you can think about getting playful with emojis. I'll be honest, it's this exact exercise that made me do a very deep dive on all the different emojis that exist on these keyboards, y'all. So that is one way that you can do, and there's 2 of my examples. That second one is one that I have just recently sent to a friend who had a new baby. And gosh, if anyone here has ever been new to parenting or even to furry parenting, I would say fun, playful, maybe not the first words you would think of your experience as you are first starting this caregiving experience. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping it over to Jessie to go ahead and give this a try. So Jessie, here's what I ask you to do. Go ahead and look through your phone or through Slack, just for someone that you haven't reached out to in over 60 days. Okay, Jessie, can you share with us who that person is? It doesn't have to be the name. It could be like, they're my
Yeah.
teammate. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know about you. The person I picked is like someone who's already reached out to me too, and I feel even guiltier that I haven't responded back. It's been the 30 days. This person does amazing work in Kansas City, helping folks with end of life planning. And I saw there's a local Kansas City event going on around talking about grief at work that I wanted to invite him to join with me.
Okay. Yes. Love this choice for somebody. Oh my goodness. Okay. So
This is like
Jessie,
it's a heavy topic, but yeah.
but maybe one where a little playful injection is always helpful. Yes, and needed. Okay, love this choice. So Jessie, I'm going to give you 30 seconds here to select
Okay.
a series of 4 or 5 emojis
Okay.
that you're going to send to this person, and they're going to have to translate what it means. And what I'll ask you to do also, Jessie, is to, if you can find those emojis here in the chat, where it might be easier to share with everyone what those emojis could be. And Lulu, I saw your question there. It is best with someone where there's been some form of personal connection already. So this exercise is best for reconnecting. And so as Jessie is digging around for some of the best emojis that you have ever seen, I will say that one of the best parts about using this exercise is you can keep it boundaried in the way that you want to, as it comes to vulnerability, meaning what you ask and how playful you are with a professional contact might be a little bit different. I understand than someone maybe in the personal world. Let's be honest, y'all, there are some emojis I'm going to use with my personal friends that I would never dare use in my professional environment. We have a different level of playfulness and understanding. And so Jessie, when you have a sense of maybe what your emojis are, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up here whenever you're done. But if no worries, no rush at all here if you're still working through it. The other takeaway I will say here, y'all, is I'm just starting with this 30-day rule, this monthly ritual. What I've seen folks do is they calendar block 10 minutes in their calendars once a month, select someone in their network, in their contacts list, and then they send this message. The key is once you've built this habit, maybe you've done it like 6 months in a row, challenge yourself to now make it a weekly habit. And then it becomes now this really fun and secondhand ability to do this. I am with you, Dimitri. Sometimes, like the use of emojis, I'm still of this very mind that emojis are things that I used to use when I was 14 years old on MSN Messenger or AOL or whatever I was using. It doesn't feel like, but turns out emojis have definitely been normalized, especially in the remote work world. So what their research shows, the remote work world, is emojis actually help us double encode our messages. So we're less likely to misinterpret tone when someone also adds an emoji to a statement. Okay, Jessie, curious where you are at. How you want to go ahead and
I
copy
put them in.
paste that
There's
series?
way more than 5. I went past the rules.
Okay, I love this. So Jessie, I see your series of emojis.
Yes.
Hey, it's been a while since we've spoken. Something maybe around plant funerals or around the death.
Someone died at the office?
Let's go ahead and schedule time for a coffee. Okay, Jessie, how close or far are we?
It's like pretty close. Should I tell you what I was thinking?
Yeah,
It
go
was,
for it.
hey, let's talk death at work over coffee on a specific date.
I love this so
Is that
much.
pretty good?
Yes.
All right,
Absolutely.
let's let people go do their own emojis together. We're gonna make it a short breakout room, folks. You're only gonna have 4 minutes this time. Some folks had to leave, but let's jump into breakout rooms and share them with each other in the chat so you guys can learn from each other too. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for being here. I realize we're 3 minutes after the hour. If you have to jump, completely understand. Thank you for going through that fun, playful exercise with each other. And Vaneeta, thank you for that. I give a warm round of applause for Vaneeta. That was awesome and uncomfortable in a good way. And we're going to launch a poll real quick. We want to know what's next. What would be the most helpful thing for you next to keep connected, keep practicing these habits of connection, whatever your connection journey looks like, and get that poll up. And while you're responding to the poll, maybe Vaneeta, you can chat with folks about how that went.
Yes, y'all, what I would love for you to do is in the chat, go ahead and throw in 1 or 2 words that summarize what that was like to have to just speak an emoji talk and to send that to someone. I already see some folks being like, I've actually never had to do that. And the words could be uncomfortable, awkward. It could have been like, I'm a pro. This felt great. Fun. I love that one. Oh, Rafi's like already a pro, just like including the emojis in the check-in. I am into this, y'all. Yes, the idea here, Gary, you just highlighted is sometimes just needing the permission to be playful, the permission to be fun. I'll be honest, y'all, I have done this for years now, and I have yet for someone to react in a negative way, like, how dare you send me an emoji? Communication usually ends up being pretty playful. Thanks, y'all, for sharing what that was like for you. Back over to you, Hanson.
Thank you. And I can't see the poll, but I know you guys can or should be able to. So hopefully we can wrap that up. And maybe Kevin, you can help us kind of wrap up with a biggest takeaway if you're still up for using the Mentimeter and jumping back into that. Kevin, you with us there? You're on mute. Yeah, we're back to Mentimeter. So if you're still here, thank you. You don't have to stay, but we would love to hear kind of what was your biggest takeaway and describe your experience of today's workshop, getting that feedback, but also just learning in the process.
I love that somebody that was with us put in the chat didn't know what to expect, came with no expectation really, but feeling inspired and want to go spread the love. You know, that's what this is about.
Yeah, the marketer in me is like, how do we accurately reflect this experience? This is the second time doing it, and it's not a workshop I've ever been to. So I'm excited to keep going with it and learning how best to describe it to folks so they can know what they're getting into. But I did love her feedback as well. So I'm seeing fun, Thank you for the activities that were fun. So appreciate the playfulness, inspired, encouraging, reflective. Love it. Well, folks, this is the end for
Needed.
us. Yeah.
Hey, handsome, somebody put needed too. I just don't want to, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to miss that, based on the reason you all wanted to do this, to eliminate loneliness. And if somebody said needed, they may have been in that camp before.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you again all for being here. We're working on these workshops and a community and other tools and ways to help each other connect better, both personally and in the work life. And love Jessie's the culture first communities values of creating a better place of work. And I'm on board for that. I appreciate you all being here and being on board for that. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Connect with each other, connect with us. We'll follow up with you. We'll share the recording, not the breakout rooms, of course, but the main recording, and keep connected. Thank you, everyone.